Morning.
And thank you, Shrikant, for inviting me to speak at your prestigious VDONXT conference. Now, it's no secret today that digital dominates everyone's life, both our personal lives, our professional lives, our business lives. And therefore, it's no surprise to anyone that it dominates advertising and our addicts too. Now, before I jump into the intricacies of media planning in a digital world, I want to just briefly draw your attention to the fact that how consumers have changed in the last, even just say in the last 5 years in our India, and specifically their media habits with reference to digital. So, in 5 years, whilst individuals with TV homes increased by about 100 million, individuals with mobiles increased by about 300 million. And in terms of reach, digital trails just a little behind TV's reach. The margin is very slender. Data consumption, on the other hand, is also very high in India, thanks to data now being available at very low cost. There has been a 9x increase in short video content since 2016, and we spend almost 5 hours on our smartphones every day, which is the highest across the globe. As my next chart shows, the younger you are, you spend more time on digital. Older people like me perhaps spend more time on TV. And as we know, many advertisers and brands, especially in India, want to focus their brands on youth. Another significant change in media consumption over the last few years is that there is a dramatic increase in multimedia consumption, making dominating share of voice strategies across the media very expensive and therefore very difficult. Many of you are very young and you may not know, but dominating share of voice has been a major growth and success strategy adopted by most large companies, both multinational and India, in the past. Multimedia consumption is also more pronounced amongst younger age groups, as this chart of mine shows, especially amongst millennials and Gen Z that belong to 16 to 36. Again, the group that most brands want to target, making media planning that much more complex. Also, this is an interesting chart we have created which brings out digital consumption intensity, that is, reach into time spent, which is highest for digital amongst millennials and Gen Z. You can see in this chart the sharp contrast for millennials and Gen Z. For print and radio, it's at a mere 1 and 2% versus digital at 56%. Now, obviously, it's kind of obvious to me that any media planner who ignores all these changes does so at his own peril. Now, let us see what has been the impact of this change in media habits on addicts. So the good news is that across the world, whilst a lot of things have changed, fortunately for us, the advertisers' confidence in advertising has not. So, if you see, global ADX is now at a humongous $880 billion and has grown at a compound annual growth rate of 10% in the last 5 years, despite COVID. My next chart, as I see it, is a dramatic one. If you see the first group of bar charts, which represents digital, it shows that digital has grown in share globally from 46% to a dramatic 68%. All other mediums, including the mighty television, have declined year on year in share, and digital today is larger than the combined share of all other mediums. Only 10 years ago, it would have been impossible for anyone to conceive of this global construct of ADX. If you come to Indian ADX, which understandably has been slow to adopt digital because of lower penetration, is now galloping. And last year, in our view, for the first time, overtook TV ADX to become the #1 medium in India too. According to our Pitch Madison report, we expect ADX to grow a further 16% in India against global ADX, which is expected to grow only by 3%. And if you take the top 11 economies of the world, that there the ADX is expected to grow by less than 1%. Our expectation also in India is that digital will continue its onward march, growing at 25% and get a share of 41%, whereas TV is expected to slow down. When I say slow down in terms of its growth, we expect it to grow at 9% and its share will be at 32%. So the gap